The instrument should never get in the way of the performance. That is a baseline for Yamaha in the way we design instruments.
I'm Jordan Black, and this is Jonathan Goldman, and we're here to talk to you today about Yamaha trombones. So talk to us about the line of Xeno tenor trombones.
We have a YSL-882O and we have a YSL-882OR. We do make straight tenor versions of these, the 881 series, but the one that started it all is the 882O. That's actually the model that I still play to this day.
Wow.
That I switched to long before I started working for Yamaha. Because there's 3 different setups for it, we have a different option for the different style of player.
So for a player currently on an intermediate level trombone, what key difference would you call out for the 882 lines? What makes this trombone a pro level instrument?
We use a slightly heavier gauge brass bell on the 882 series, all of which come in a gold brass version, by the way, in addition to the yellow brass. The bell in particular, the way it's designed, it projects very well. It projects very easily. The way the lead pipe is tapered, these little things on the inside of the horn that you can't see are all designed for a player that is more experienced. You know, when you hear them move from that horn to something like this, it's like this aha moment, like, oh, I feel like I can do the things I want to do with this horn.
How does the open wrap impact the sound or performance of the instrument?
It helps move that resistance point further away from them.
Okay.
So for some players who, like, physically, they like to lean into the horn and blow further down into the horn, and that's the way that it works well for their body, then that works really well for them. The compact wrap tends to tighten up the spacing between the notes, the intervals, a little bit more. A general way that people talk about or describe how they feel when they're playing that is that the horn feels very flexible. It feels very nimble. But I've heard players sound equally as nimble on the larger setup of the 882OR as the 882. It's about having options for the player to achieve what they're trying to do, and everybody's different, and that requires different setups of the instrument for them to be able to choose from.
For sure, personal comfort, personal preference. For the 882OR, we have kind of an interesting slide setup. Can you walk us through that critical characteristic?
The 882OR has what's called reversed tuning slides, both on the F attachment tuning slide and on the main tuning slide. So in a traditional tuning slide setup, the slide itself, the round part on the top, has 2 tubes that stick down straight.
Yep.
Those tubes both insert into outer tubes that receive.
Right.
So what the kind of the visualization of what the sound waves do as they travel through the instrument is when they hit that first side, it does this, it kind of narrows,
right.
Then it goes around the tube and then it comes out. It opens up, it comes out. So on the 882OR, the reversed part is that the first insert tube actually, it goes into the main tuning slide. The main tuning slide itself has the outer tube, receiver tube over the top.
Yeah.
When the sound travels through the instrument and the air travels through, it actually opens up first into the main tuning slide, travels around the curve, and then opens up again. So how players generally perceive that is a more open feel.
So all of the new Xeno trombones have a special upgrade, a new kind of take on an old section of the instrument. Can you talk to us about that?
A couple years ago, we launched the 835 series of Xeno bass trombones. And one of the redesigns that they did on that was the F attachment system, like the rotor system, from the paddle all the way, how the angles and how the bars react with each other. And the goal there was to create a faster, simpler, more efficient design. Why not carry that down? So now we have all of the Xeno F attachment tenor trombones now come with the new F attachment design. And to also balance that out, we put a really heavy duty bass for the spring setup system. And then we used a double spring, double coil spring instead of a single coil. When you press the lever down, it goes down. It goes down quickly. It stops efficiently. It moves the way you want it to move and you don't have to worry about it. And on the back end, it springs back efficiently. Less chance of getting that puff if you're not so quick.
Right.
It shoots the rotor back. Everything lines up really nicely.
So is that the only difference between the O and the OR, or are there other elements that are different between the two models?
The O and the OR have very key differences other than just the reverse tuning slide setup. So the 882O, which is the original Xeno,
Right.
has a narrower slide with a single radius rounded crook down at the bottom. The 882O also has a slightly more traditional bell setup. It's got a little bit more bracing. It's got the standard tuning slide, like we mentioned. It does have the same weight bell, the same bell flare.
Yep.
Is the same. The 882O is a very quick, nimble, responding instrument. It can play very big. For me, where it really comes to life is in like a more of a chamber setup.
Sure.
It blends really well with strings. Somebody who is an orchestra player might want to gravitate towards the 882 OR.
Right.
It has the wider slide with the bass trombone size crook, the D-shaped dual radius crook. It has a slightly more open lead pipe in it, the reverse tuning slides.
So the 882 OR has what Yamaha calls a balanced response rotor. Can you talk about that and how it might differ from the 882O's traditional rotor?
Yeah, really the difference is in the rotor itself, the piece that turns. The 882 OR has a little port drilled in it to help alleviate that pressure as the rotor turns around and clean up that change. One of the secondary effects was kind of balancing the evenness of the instrument across a lot of the trigger range.
So other than a clear lacquer, what other finishes do these models come in? And how would that different finish maybe affect the sound of the instrument?
So from a finish standpoint, just like the outside of the instrument, you can order any Xeno trombone in a silver-plated finish. In terms of the instrument itself, it's not a finish, but we do offer every Xeno trombone in a gold brass bell. We feel that gold brass is that perfect balance for the added warmth that you get to the sound while still being able to get powerful projection. Yeah, all options. Again, talk to your sales engineer and they'll get you going.
Thanks everybody for watching. If you want more information, go to sweetwater.com or contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.